Regecentric histories. Before entering into the annals of the history of India, Magadha as being the seat of the imperial political hegemony, it is essential to question some of the factors which are dated with the historiography. The history which was written for India in 19th century is basically a regecentric history. It is not the case with our history only. Almost all the world have written only the regecentric histories. We have to understand what do you mean by regecentric history. When the entire history is considered to be centered around a state or king or emperor or any administrative identity which is controlling the entire policy, lifestyle management, then it is called as the regecentric history. And almost all the histories that were developed throughout the world have been regecentric histories only. In that way, the Indian history, which was written by the Western historians and also opted and adopted by the Indian historians and Indian historical researchers, has become regecentric only. We have to identify what are the advantages in the regecentric history and what are the disadvantages in the regecentric history. Because now most of the things have changed totally from 1960 onwards. New generation has come into existence. New thought wave has come into existence. It is what we are seeing in the second half of the 20th century. The same might have taken place previously also, but it is not taken care of or ignored, because all the histories which are present either in European history or in the Chinese history or in the Indian history or in the other countries in the name of what is called as history, they are all basically regecentric histories only. So it is essential to understand where regecentric histories are followed. First of all, they will be concentrating on the king or kingship and the attributes that are around the king. As a result, the entire mechanism nucleated around the king is taken into considered. As a result, the causative factors, the catalyzing factors, the resulting factors, the risk factors, the obstructive factors can easily be understood and followed. And that is why king is considered to be the nucleic point in the history, and any ethnic or territorial or political-territorial dimension has been studied only from that dimension only. And it is easy from the sense of historian for maintaining an accurate chronology of events. A king has ruled for some time. He will be having some events or the eventualities. The events and eventualities, they can be properly identified on a particular time scale, and they can be properly recorded, because we can find out a mathematical and calendar accuracy. As a result, we can look at an event very clearly and we can understand the differences in different categories. Thirdly, it is easy for understanding the policies of different politico-territorial societies. Each politico-territorial society will be having a policy: the defense policy, the finance policy, the education policy, the religious policy, the external policy. Such type of things are developing in a particular country, which is basically a politico-territorial society. So we can understand the point of origin of a particular policy and the nature of the policy and its implementation and its impacts very clearly in a regecentric history. And that is why, because the orders of the king are considered to be the laws, all things emanate from the king and rally around the king. It is very much easy to understand the nature of the policies and substantiate them with a proper interpretation for understanding the changes in the lifestyle and other alien patterns in a particular society. Fourthly, it is easy to find out the development of administrative pattern. The administrative pattern has been developing. For example, in the case of India, the administrative pattern that was there from the Mauryan period, it has been adopted subsequently for a period of more than 200 years, 2000 years. So that means the same administrative pattern is not adaptable to all the places, but they had made some salient changes wherever they need. That is why, to understand the developments in administrative pattern, the regecentric societies will be helping a lot. They can be helping to understand the repercussions in the subjects. In the regecentric societies, all the people are basically called as the subjects. They are subjected to the sovereign power, the autocratic power, or the dictatorial power, or the enlightened monarchic power of a particular king, or a ruler, or a ruling lineage, or a dynasty. In such a situation, how to trace the repercussions, the cause being in the regular identities, the result can be identified among the people. So those repercussions can easily be traced with the best understanding of the cause and effect system. And fourthly and sixthly, the interpreting the multifacial activities within a country will be very much easy. So each country will be having so many activities, cultural activities, religious activities, ritualistic activities, all types of activities will be there within the country. And outside the country also there will be mercantilism, there will be external policies, there will be invasions. Such type of things will be understood properly. And this multifacial activity can be hubbed around the king or kingship. And then one can be very easily identify the development of a particular race, the movement of a particular nation, or the growth and progression in a particular politico-territorial society that can easily be assessed in the regecentric societies. That is why the historians have given importance to the regecentric histories, and they have become more political histories but not the other histories. At the same time, there are some disadvantages which are to be kept in mind. First of all, the political life is totally concentrated. The first disadvantage in the system is political life is totally concentrated. All the people are not participants in the political life, but in the political history, even the king is the supreme, and political life is considered to be the supreme way of life, supreme dimension of life, the apex of the life. As a result, only the concentration on the political life is taking place. And as a result, social activity, social behavior, and social pathological factors are totally ignored. So the other side of the coin, when the king is there, the other side of the king is the society. The society is totally ignored. Social activity, that means different activities of different social segments, and social behavior, how they are responding to a particular challenge, and how they are understanding a challenge, and how they are accepting the results of a particular challenge. That is all social behavior. And social pathological factors, how the disadvantageous results in the social dimension have been identified, they are totally ignored. That means society as a strong facet has been subjected to the suppression of the king, and the entire total social dimension is totally ignored. Thirdly, religion and culture are studied almost as a single entity. So even though religion is an outcrop of culture and culture is the background for religion, they are studied as a single item. They were discussed by the historians only to the best advantage of the political policies. So the religion and culture were discussed only to the best advantage of the political policies. That means if a political policy is not prone for a particular religion or a cultural lifestyle, then the historians have condemned those particular approaches, and they have not properly understood the development or the changes in the religion and cultural life. And fourthly, they do not concentrate on the causative factors, catalytic factors, risk factors, origin, rise, growth and development and progression and regression of different movements. There are different movements. For example, the rise of Jainism and Buddhism is a heterodox movement. Sufism is a one variety of movement. Bhakti movement is another variety of movement. Industrial revolution is another variety of movement. Such type of things are totally not concentrated. It's not much suitable to the democentric societies which are at present we can identify. And it is to be understood that the ethnic and ecological significance in history is horrifyingly forgotten. In the particular political history, they have not taken into consideration the ethnic identities and the ecological identities. They are the two sides of the same coin. All the ecological factors will be having their repercussions on the ethnic factors, and they are totally forgotten in the regecentric societies. That is why they are not suitable to the present societies, and most of the people are not very much interested in understanding the modern political history as a simply regecentric history. Most significant facet is the economic imperialism, though only throughout and the post-industrial revolution are very much ignored. So the economic imperialism is one of the most important things, and it is totally ignored in this particular dimension. And intellectual dimension is also ignored in regecentric histories. Intellectualism has been considered simply as a socio-cultural outcrop of some mentally matured and intellectually advanced souls. So as a result, there are some disadvantages in the regecentric societies. It must be borne in mind.